So this is a new rim that I got, well, used rim I picked up for the 1130. I gotta do some cleaning up on the edges here, so that way I can weld in a new plate of steel, because when I bought it, it was all sealed up, but then right here you can see I got a hole starting, so I'm gonna weld the whole sheet all the way across from bevel to bevel, all the way around, just wrap it and start it and stop it on each side of the valve stem and notch around. Then that should get me good enough to where I can fill this hole in and make it good enough to work.
For a minute, I want it put down.
Looks really good.
Dad, while you do that, I'll keep. Dad, you do that, then I'll keep doing it when you're done with that.
You're gonna have to move because I'm gonna have to spray that off with the air hose and then put this on, and then you can't scratch no more. Okay, watch out.
I just can't blush.
Oh, I gotta tell them what I'm doing.
I'm really liking it.
With the air hose, make sure it's all good and got all the dust gone. And then I'm going to put some Rust-Oleum rust reformer on it. It's supposed to convert the rust and stop it and make a primed paintable surface. But I'm also going to go ahead and put some Rust-Oleum primer on and just have both for extra. I'm assuming this had calcium in it at some point, and it's never going to see calcium again. So it's mainly going to be a show tractor and maybe do a little bit of work. Alright, we're a few minutes in the future here, so we'll go ahead and get some primer on, and then we'll call it a night. And I'll go pick up some steel tomorrow and weld it in here. It'll burn some of this paint back off doing the welding, but that'll be what it'll be. I'll try to cover it back in and over apply and try to get some to seep back in there, and it'll look good on the outside, and I'll have a nice new sheet of steel here to hold my inner tubes when I put the tire back on. Well, I'm going to let this dry for a minute, and I'm going to roll it inside to let it sit overnight. I would recommend, if you're going to try it, probably do it all by brush, because some of that's still scaly that I'm not too worried about, because I'm going to cover it up with that new sheet of steel. It's a lot easier if you can brush it on with a brush and get a lot better coverage to help stop the rust with the rust reformer. That's what I'm going to do every time I apply it from here on, just to make sure I get a good, better, even coat. Okay, so I started up the truck, letting it warm up a little bit. I want to show you the rim before I go get the metal. I just wanted to show you how it turned out. Still pretty scaly, but we'll cover it up and we'll get things patched up. Paint looks good, feels good. So got my coffee and we'll go get some steel. So I got the steel. I'm going to go ahead and grind across and get ready for welding it on. And once I get that all done, then I'm going to get tubes ordered, because I got to change out both back tires on it, as you can see in the video. And once that's done, then I'm going to hopefully get it up here, get it inside, and I got to pull the injection pump and injectors out, get the pump gone through, and get the injectors tested, make sure they're still alright. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do now is, because I didn't get it square enough, it's starting to work on me. I'm getting too tight on this side and too big a gap on this side. So I'm going to cut it off, try to center it up again, and keep on working around. I'm going to put primer on it, and then I'm just putting on some red just because, well, that's what I got on the shelf, and I'm just using it up to get it out of the way. So just finishing up painting it, and then I'll be all done with the inside, and I'll be ready for an inner tube and get the tire mounted on it on the inside. But then still on the, or I guess this part where the tube will all be done. But the inside, where the rails are, I'm still going to have to get the sandblaster out. I got a little handheld, and I'm going to hit all of it, and then there's a couple holes I got to fill in and sand up and get all nice and flat, and then I'll be ready to paint the inside of the rim silver again. So I'll go ahead and finish up this red paint, and then I'll do it till I get the sandblaster out and clean up the inside along the rails. So now my next step is going to be just, got a little handheld sandblaster. I'm going to go around and clean up the inside, all the rest, because it's going to be easier than trying to go through with sandpaper, and then come back and hit it with some primer, and then I'll be ready to put my inner tube and tire on it, and then we'll be ready to swap it on the tractor, and then hopefully get it up to the house where I can do more of the better stuff like the injection pump. So we'll get started with sandblasting. Well guys, because I don't have a air water separator, my sandblasters are plugging up because of the moisture in the air coming out of the hose. So this is the back side of it. It'll be on the inside tractor, so I'm not real worried about it looking super nice. So I'm gonna sand it up with some sandpaper and throw some primer on it, and then it'll be ready to start getting everything ready for tube and tire. So guys, now I've seen this trick. I don't know how well it's gonna work, just because it's not really doing anything. It's just to make my paint look better, and to it's not gonna hold any air pressure in it. So I'm gonna try soldering these holes shut and just kind of see what that does, see how well it'll turn out. So here it is up closer, sanded out pretty good where I put in the soldering iron, and we'll go from there with it. It all looks good enough for me for now, because this isn't going to be the restoration paint job, because I just want to get it up and running and movable with good rim and tires on it, because what's on it now ain't no good. But like here around the valve stem, I'm sure at some point I'll have to either cut it and patch it or do something different, because it's still somewhat rough. But this will get me a good tire and rim on it to where I can get it mobile. So we'll go ahead and get some paint thrown on it, and we'll get it mounted here soon. Well, that looks good for now, so we'll leave it at that, and once it gets a good dry on it, we'll go ahead and start mounting it.